And we're back, Human Nuggets. There was more Modern Warfare 3 content for you today. And we have the MCW 6.8 finished out to both its 1,000 kills and 3,000 zombie kills. And I will share my builds as normal, but I want to say, I'll go into more detail about it later, but due to circumstances, I didn't go through all the attachment swap testing I normally do to compare similar attachments and see which one I think ends up with the nicest build. So for the single fire build, I've got RB Crow Talus Assault Stock, the RB Rapid Strike Grip, the 30 round magazine, the FTAC MSP 98 hand stop, and lastly the Sonic Suppressor L. If you want an optic, I'd probably take out the rear grip or the suppressor. I'd take out the rear grip myself for something like the Mark III reflector. Then for a full auto conversion kit, we obviously have the full auto conversion. We have the RB Claw PSL grip, the RB Crow Talus Assault Stock again, the MCW Crown 30 barrel, the VT7 Spitfire Suppressor L, and I wanted to put a magazine on this to increase the size, and I've seen people be able to put the full auto kit and a magazine on at the same time, but for some reason, if I try, you can see swap it out, it doesn't actually change here, doesn't change in game. If I put the mag on first and then the conversion kit, it just says that it's not a, it's not a compatible attachment set, so if you can put on the bigger magazine, I would recommend putting on the 30, probably not the 60 round mag, but at least the 30 round with the full auto kit. But yeah, as I was saying, I didn't really get to form a full opinion about this gun. I can say that I much prefer the single fire build to the full auto conversion kit. I find it a lot more consistent, and obviously, you know, it has high damage, so that's always nice. You still cannot get a one-shot headshot on a full health enemy in core, unfortunately. But you know, it's pretty nice. Along with it being Christmas period, meaning you know, longer and more stressful shifts in retail, I also had a couple of the rooms in my house flood due to a thunderstorm. One of them being my computer room. It wasn't fully flooded house. It was I think the deepest spot had you know, kind of ankle deep water, but that's still, you know, big problem, especially around electronics. And then after it was done, you know, you got the got to dry out everything and make sure it's thoroughly dried and everything to avoid mold. So that kind of you know, put a big sting into how much time I could actually play the game. So getting this gun done was kind of, you know, a couple matches here and there when I could manage to fit stuff in. Meaning, I don't know how this gun compares. I know that I get shit on a lot, but that could also be because I wasn't spending as much time playing. So at least for me, it doesn't hold up to meta weapons, but it could be great, could be a terrible build because I didn't get to do much testing with that. It's all, yeah, bit unfortunate, but the builds I've got do have pretty low recoil, which is nice. Not putting an optic on means I'm not necessarily going for headshots all that often, and it's obviously hard to pick people off head glitches, so, you know, take that into consideration. You can still, it still has a pretty fast TTK even without the headshots, but if you do want to go for them, you know, it cuts it down to a 2-shot kill with 1 headshot in the mix, so it is kind of worth it. It's just COD wasn't really something I've been stressing about lately, which I know most of you guys that watch my videos, that are subscribed, are here for the COD content, so I do apologize for that. But I also, while we're still here in multiplayer, I gotta say, I do not like this year's Christmas version of Shipment. The white is so fucking blinding, it hurts my eyes. It doesn't affect my visibility of enemies much, but it just, God, it strains my eyes so much quicker when playing. Normally I can play for quite a while without kind of wearing down from looking at a screen, but the whiteness is painful. So I did swap between this and a bit of the high-rise Christmas version, just because, you know, playing on the same map when you're trying to get lots of kills over and over means that you kind of get used to it more, and then shipment is preferable because it's faster. But, you know, you gotta kind of cope how you gotta cope. And again, in zombies, you know, couldn't test the build too much. Went for a bit of a mix between a move speed and recoil control. Again, if you can put the conversion kit and a big drum on, I would put that on. I've seen it work. I know some people can. I don't know why I can't. But yeah, so we got the A90 Venom stock, the 16-round drum magazine, the FTAC MSP 98 hand stop, the TACG 76 muzzle, and lastly the MCW Crown 30 barrel. And then actually in match, like, I've got Deadshot, but other than that I haven't put any upgrades on. And you can see, in Tier 1 it can one-shot headshot, so you can mow through Tier 1 hordes pretty easily, which, if what you're trying to farm for is kills, that's probably what you're doing. And then, like, once you get, I don't know, with Tier 1 and Blue Rarity, you can get one-shot body shot, or depending on where you hit. But yeah, so it's not too bad. It's also, you know, pretty decent at taking down at least one iteration of a boss, like an elite enemy at a time. Once you get multiple, its move speed is kinda crap, even with a couple of aim walking speed items. Like, that's with stamina up and aim walking speed on a couple of things, and we are kind of crawling through there, so it's definitely not something that's good there, which makes it, you know, kind of crap for clearing out strong, like infested strongholds and shit, just because it's easy to get overwhelmed. You can, like, fire quite fast with it, you know, on its tap fire setting, which is nice, but doesn't really make up for everything. Whoop. So, like, we can see it's not doing super amazing, but it's definitely holding its own against, like, HVTs and stuff. I definitely prefer it to the Sidewinder because that's the closest out of the other guns we've done that I can compare it to, but it's just, yeah. It wasn't bad to use in zombies, but I wouldn't choose it over pretty much most other things. If given the choice, just like there's better options out there. It's nowhere near the meta. Not that I, you know, chase the meta kind of thing, but yeah, it is what it is. You kind of... And then, like, for grinding it, you can use exfils now. They reversed that a little while ago. I still will typically, you know, chase an Outlast or... someone took the Spore contract that was there, but I'll either take an Outlast or a Spore contract if there's one I don't have to go too far for. Because, you know, this can hold its own against them just fine. There's no real stress to them, but then, you know, while they have buffed extractions here, we'll show that, I know it's still early game, but, like, not a ton spawn, just, like, enough. So I still don't think exfil farming is worth it. I do see a lot of people doing it. Like, every match you'll see people kind of at the cluster. I saw like 10 people at one exfil once just farming, and it's like, God, the spawns aren't what they used to be, and you're just kind of all just going to be stealing each other's kills. So, like you can see here, it does get a bit more hectic towards the end, but I don't think this is worth it compared to doing the contracts. Unless you do have like a secondary you're trying to get elite kills on at the same time, or if, like, you know, you're doing these as you go, so you're doing like one of the first two cameras while trying to get elite kills, then maybe it's worth it, but yeah, taking them down with this thing is pretty easy. That was just me doing some bad aim that kind of shut it off poorly there. But I think that's where we'll leave it for today. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.